Hey, welcome back to Glassdoor Anonymous Stories, where we go on Glassdoor communities, in this case, they're called bolds, and see what people are saying about the job market, their careers, or anything else. So let's just dive right into these. So instead of just going through individual today, I'm just going to go down my feed of bolds and see what's going on there. First one says interview tips. Okay, from the interview tips bowl, it's a lot of them. The manager, which is in tech, it looks like. What's the fastest you've gotten rejected from a job you just applied to? Mm, it's a good one. So mine's is at least a week. At least a week. Let's see if people got 30 minutes. Met all the on paper qualifications too. Wow. That's a little wild. Did you find out why? In my experience, this is generally because of an outdated job ad, which makes sense. This is why it's so important to look at is either at the bottom or at the top of the job description to see when the job has been posted. Because if it says anything more than 30 days, personally, I won't apply to it. Same, but your response was quicker. Mine's took a few hours. Okay. We decided to go with applicants more closely aligned with our job criteria, whatever that meant. Strange. Probably automated anyway, I say. Within an hour, within a day of a person interview, after weeks of telephone conversations. That's it's like leading them astray. 30 minutes during oh wow. During the interview. That's wow. Whoever that was pretty ballsy saying, hey, we don't think you're a good fit for this role. Just straight up in your face. In some cases, at least you get closure, but on others, like some people might be like, wow, that's kind of wild. 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, Viva email, I figured it was an ATS automatic rejector. Yeah, most likely. As things get more digital, pun intended, these ATS systems are leveling up and honestly getting AI integrations in there. So they're going to probably start scanning your resumes if they haven't already for those keywords, and then they send it out to a human. But don't get it twisted. Humans are the one that sets up these ATS systems, right? So it depends on which company you're going to. So you just got to see for that one. What's this college one? Category manager, capital projects. Right out of college, I had an interview. He asked me a technical question I didn't know how to answer. It was the very first question. Yeah, first, came out swinging. Probably that recruiter came out swinging. He ended the interview right then. Wow, I was baffled. Only one person. I was so embarrassed as I knew the answer. It just caught me off guard. But I just knew I didn't have the job. At least I was put in. I wasn't put in suspense for weeks on end, which is true. Like closure is so important when it comes to finding out if you get the job or not, because no one wants to be lead astray. Be led astray. Got some videos here. Let me know if you guys want me to like react to these videos as well. Um, you know, in the comments below, of course. Human resource talent acquisition. This is definitely my career path. Well, my career. Why is it so hard to find a job? You are one of 100s, probably thousands of applicants, and they may be only one or two openings available. Massive layoffs over 2 years, making competition extremely fierce. Job layoffs are ongoing. Update your resume, providing details, but not too much. Before applying for the position, take the time to understand what employer is seeking in terms of basic qualifications and preferred skills. Find me on Facebook groups one 1W slash the week once a week. That all makes sense. I think too many people really aren't apprehending the amount of competition that's out there for every job. Yeah, it's nuts, man. It I have never seen the job market like this before, and I've been in this and been in HR for like nine, at this point, 10 years. Talent acquisition for like five, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild out here. I hear people say that they just get hundreds and hundreds of applicants for positions, and reminding people to take time before applying is so important. It's really important. Too many people are just spamming applying, firing off these resumes to jobs they really aren't suited for. So it's no wonder they're not getting action out of it. That's true. Sometimes you can't just pray and spray when it comes to these jobs. You got to make sure you're applying to the right ones to make the most impact. The most impact. If you don't do that, then you're just going to get a lot of rejections that week, you know? Let's see. Manager number one says it's tough with so many applicants and layoffs, making the job market even more competitive. Updating your resume and tailoring it to each role is key. Also, reading the job description carefully and focus. I'm currently trying to stay optimistic. True, man. Hopefully, you take down that job hunt, boss, man. Let's see if we can get some from ooh, surviving a toxic workplace. Executive assistant says, question for this bowl. Does it pay to be honest at the exit interview, or is it smarter just to suck it up and move on? I honestly feel like it's important for the exit interview, because if it's a good HR team, they would actually do some investigating and like keep tabs on the person and be like, okay, this person has like huge turnover. Who's the lead of this? How was the experience for other workers there underneath this lead, right? Just to kind of get an understanding of what's really going on here. If five people in the past year are saying the same thing, if it's, you know, smoke and mirrors, man. If there's smoke, there's fire. So you got to be careful. Let's see. If you can't just sidestep doing the exit interview, I would give the most pointless answers. Wow. What's the difference does it make at that point? If they didn't care what you thought when you was going through work every day, why on earth would you care about when you're heading out the door? Why even give them the satisfaction of taking it seriously? Wow. Someone's really bitter. Really is a waste of time. It's not even from a company HR. They said I would receive a link from outside a company. That's strange. I don't care. They don't care why you left. Oof. Don't say anything. Silence speaks volumes. Declining an exit interview says a lot. That is a good power move. That is a good power move. I don't know. Maybe I'm super optimistic when it comes to some of these teams, but HR normally gets a huge bad rep just in general. Here it is. Honestly, it depends on whether HR is truly able to do anything with the information. In some orgs, enough bad data points will get someone's attention. Exactly. In others, especially small companies, it's usually not worth it. Small companies also tend not to keep the information confidential. Ooh, that's not good. I've heard of some owners slash CEOs in some of those orgs basically demanding a recap of the entire interview. Yikes. Never do an exit interview, waste of time. You can decline and just move on. That's wild that these smaller companies are kind of doing that. It makes sense, but it's really bad. Really, really bad. Looking for job. Are you supposed to respond to rejection emails from jobs? I don't, but just wondering if anyone else does. Normally, when they send out a rejection email, it's like a random email that's just sent out, and they just don't. They have a no reply to it, so you can't even reply to them. I usually don't, but a thank you letter sounds good. Sounds like you're losing on job on future opportunities. If they don't want to hire you, why do you care what they think exactly? No need to. You're lucky nowadays. You got a rejection letter. That is true. At least he gets a rejection, right? Never have. Sometimes I do if I want them to keep me in mind for any future opportunities, but it's rare. But please do what you feel is good for you. If it's a generic letter from HR, we went with someone else. I don't. If it's from one of the people I met with and they're speaking to me directly, like, we really liked you and we may reach out to you again if it's something comes up, I reply that I would love to be considered for future opportunities and thank them for their time. Like, that's super true, because sometimes recruiters, they, you know, they don't have the final say. The final say is the hiring manager. At the end of the day, the recruiter is there to kind of guide the candidate with the company, right? And basically put the candidate's best foot forward, right? Because if the recruiter is looking out there searching for someone, they put someone in front of the hiring manager, they're supposed to be very confident in this person, right? If something happens, we're humans, something happens. But 80% of the time, you're putting your best foot forward for this person as a recruiter, right? But at the end of the day, the hiring manager has the final say, because they're joining their team, they're not joining your team. So talent acquisition will always be human, I feel, no matter how big AI is. Humans like talking to humans, unless you're, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook implementing all those AI bots. But that's a story for another day, for another day. So yeah, let's move on. Career pivots. Okay. Let's see. Unemployed. Let's see what we have here. Just had two interviews for entry level jobs and got ghosted. What I'm doing wrong? I have 6 months of retail experience and I can't even land a position for a seasonal position at a mall. It instantly gets rejected. I go to a daycare center and another retail store and I never get a call back. I don't know where to apply to know. This job market makes me feel so hopeless. Yeah, and that was a week ago. Wow. Let me send the heart, man. Check your state economic data. Generally, if your state is losing people, the economy won't be great and jobs would be hard to come by, which is that's a good tip to look at. Look at the how your state is doing in terms of money. And if people are leaving, yes, a lot of jobs getting cut and stuff like that. If you can move, then that's wise, man. Especially in these rural states as well. Malls are dying nationwide. My local mall has been rumored to close for a few years and it lost two anchor stores and is full of shutter stores. Amazon kills malls. True. Try Starbucks, Target, Walmart, Costco, or supermarkets. Once you get something, your best bet is to try to become a nurse or a teacher. That's true, man. Nah, I like that teacher approach too, man. Yes, I was thinking about pivoting to those industries as well. Thanks. Depending on where you live, try work from home gigs. There are several call centers hiring on there. Go to either Indeed, Glassdoor, or Rat Race Rebellion. That's interesting. Interesting. Rat Race Rebellion. Oh man. Okay. If not only, I was thinking about the Red Ribbon Army for a second. Any Dragon Ball Z fans? No, Dragon Ball fans out there. If not, possibly try in home care for elderly. Yeah, like home health aid. I think that's what they're called. Not an easy job, but in some states they will pay to take care of the elderly. Which is very true. Someone put a plug here. I know what this is. She makes content, job hunting content out there. Yeah, man. This market's crazy. It is the worst job market I've ever seen in my life. And I'm in my 30s, early 30s. So so yeah, it's you definitely got to do things differently on the job hunt. Of course, tailor your job to every role. There's like this hunter that you could try out. I've used that in my job hunt, and it puts everything in one place. I use AI to look up my resume. I go in there, do some more edits, and make my resume look good. It looks good, and send it out to people, and actually get on the phone and talk with people and have like these like coffee chats and networking on LinkedIn, and not having like a ghost LinkedIn profile, so people could get to know you, not some gray background with no engagement, where you're not like networking and talking with people online through LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn is still one of the best places to look for work in terms of networking, not for applying. If you want to do applying, try Glassdoor, try Indeed, and try these niche websites that's specifically in your industry. And then you'll see success, man. But that's enough for this video. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. If you want to help your fellow job seekers understand what's going on in the job market and just with careers in general. That's it for me. You take care. I'll see you in the next video. Later.